Well, since the last time we were together, I did get my right side on. I have the top frame on that side. It's not installed, but I have it fitted. This side is made, and as well, I'm not fitted. But there's a couple ratchets that go on both the left and the right side to control the action of all this. Well, to put those on, I need to put some cleats on the front end. They'll be pretty common to a wagon cleat so that I can put the front board in. I've got those made. These, I am going to rivet them in place. It did look like there were some nails on some bolts. It looked like kind of a mixture of odds and ends, but I'm going to rivet it just for my own peace of mind. Then my front board, the top board will be the same width as my top board, but the bottom board is going to be a little shorter because of the height of this platform. These sides are 16 inches. My front is only going to be 14 inches, so it'll be the same width as this cleat here. I did taper the front cleat just so that when you look at the front, it comes clear to the bottom, but it has to taper up so that it clears this apron as it makes that corner and comes up around. So I want to paint these first. I have my front boards cut out and I'm going to paint those as well. And they will be sandwiched between the front cleat and the inside cleat, just like a farm wagon would be. So it's going to fit in like so. This will be flush with the top, and the bottom board will be just above, make good clearance of this apron as it comes around. So on the front side of this front board, there's going to be 3 cleats, somewhat about like so. Then there's a rod that goes through the center of these cleats that keeps this front board in place. We'll go through the side boards. And then the seat hinges will also hinge on this cross rod. Well, this is what's left of the front board assembly. And it's been patched and re-patched. These are the irons that the seat mount on. This is the rod that I was telling you about that goes across the front. This is what's left of the front cleats. There's one here. So I need to get this apart, straightened out, sandblasted, painted, all that kind of stuff. So this topic of pre-painting everything has come up in the past, especially on that 2-seat Democrat buggy that I rebuilt. And typically, from my observation of tearing apart old vehicles, everything was built, unfinished, assembled, and then painted. And that's generally how I do it as well. This one I'm doing the different approach of taking and pre-painting everything before I assemble it. It is very time inefficient to do it this way. And cost efficiency I know was a factor then as much as it is now. So this manure spreader, I'm guessing as well, it was all built and then painted when it was done. But I started painting all the individual pieces. I'm going to continue to do that on through this whole process. So each of these cleats, each of these boards, I'm going to paint before I actually take and rivet them together. And I get the concept that everything is coated and sealed up, but practicality, I don't think that's how it was done. And on this front left corner, there is a ratchet that controls the engagement of this whole mechanism, and this is the iron that the arm will pivot. It actually pivots down here, but it engages on these 2 spots here. Well, to install this, I need those cleats in place first. And then the handle that actually operates this, part of that has been broken and is missing. So we'll get into that a little bit later, but I've got to do some fabrication for that. And this was what would actually come in and engage and disengage this whole mechanism. But it mounts right here on the front. And there are some long rods that connect that front lever to the back. These 2 go on the left side. This one will go on the right side. I don't have these straightened up yet. But the rod on the left side comes down to this whole assembly here. And this is the assembly that runs this engagement gear in and out. Well, this is bolted to the side of the box, and there's also another board that supports that will be about in this position. Well, remember I mentioned that there's another board that comes up on top that has to go on. I haven't got that made yet, but in order to do all this installation, I need this board put on. But I'm going to paint this board and get it ready as well before I can do all this assembling. In my 45 years of being in this wheelwright trade, I have had the opportunity to study lots of different wagons, makes, models, different years. And I have mentioned in the past that these wagons have been my teacher. Well, as I have studied these wagons, I've also been an observer of craftsmanship of different eras, different generations, and unknown names of different people. Many of these wagons were mass-produced, so by default they were built by employees, workers, not by the owners of the company, obviously. And I have no idea what their quality standards were, what type of supervision was in place at the time in the production of this. I'm sure they had their supervisors just like we do today. But in this wagon here as well, I noticed a couple things, and one shows up when I'm working on this front end on these seat irons. I'm assuming these seat irons were probably made out of spring steel. They were just curled around to go through this cross rod that's going to go across the front. But in their construction, you can see the differences here. Two different lengths. As I line these up here, this one is longer than this, and they had to shift these holes just a bit to make this work. So if I line these holes up, see how we're off here? This is one of those things that, would I have let this go? I don't know. I keep knowing myself, probably not. So it's just one of those things. It's a personality deal. Is it a big deal? No, it's not a big deal. You know, we can't put anybody on a pedestal, including myself. So anyway, I just thought it was kind of comical. I thought I'd point it out. Are we going to see it? Not until that seat is hinged forward will you see it. Is it functional? Absolutely. Anyway, just for what it's worth. Well, a pretty simple seat, but it's a manure spreader. There was nothing left on this except the seat iron, so this is strictly from pictures that Jeff Marshall had sent to me. Just a flat board with a couple low rails out each side, nothing down the back, pretty plain Jane. We're getting one step closer each time we do this. I need to put a footboard so he has a place to put his feet. But this allows me to start putting the hardware on each side for these ratchet controls that control the whole operation of this. Appreciate you coming along. Thanks for watching.